You're like a bleached out Jan Brady. January Jan Brady? Brock mumbled, still struggling to recover from his awkwardness. Ay marcha, 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 Cheyenne declared indignantly, storming out of the room. So, Reba, I got an idea, Barbara Jean said, her enthusiasm returning full force. You should come down to the gym and meet Jordan, my trainer. Seriously, he will change your life, she continued, her eyes sparkling. I mean, he is so much more than a personal trainer. He taught me how to work out and eat right. We go over the clothes I'm gonna wear, the movies I'm gonna see, she added, listing off the benefits like a well-rehearsed pitch. Whoa, the movies you're gonna see? Reba asked, raising an eyebrow in skepticism. What's that got to do with you getting in shape? Oh, nothing, Barbara Jean admitted with a slight giggle. We just have the same sense of humor. That Tim Allen just kills us. I mean, whether he's playing a dog or Santa Claus, you just buy it. So, you'll come meet Jordan. No, Reba answered flatly, without a moment's hesitation. Oh, come on, Reba, Barbara Jean pouted, linking her arm through Reba's. I want my best girlfriend to meet my best boyfriend. Boyfriend? Oh, whoops. She quickly covered her mouth, her eyes widening. That came out wrong. Oh. Reba stared at her, a mixture of amusement and concern flickering across her face. Well, thanks anyway, but I'm just gonna be here with my smoothie. She took a sip of the greenish concoction in her hand, wincing slightly. Delicious, just like fruit gravy. Oh, hey, Barbara Jean, Brock said, stepping back into the kitchen, his composure slightly recovered. Here you are. Listen, how would you like to go out and grab a quick lunch? Just the two of us. Oh, honey, I can't, Barbara Jean said, her tone apologetic but firm. I'm going to the gym. Well, can't you skip it just this once? Brock pressed, a hint of desperation in his voice. Come on. I'll take you to that romantic French place you like so much. Really? Skip the gym and eat French food? Barbara Jean looked genuinely torn for a moment, then shook her head resolutely. No confondu bras. With a cheerful wave, she turned and headed out the door. Man, she blew me off again, Brock grumbled, slumping into a chair. All she wants to do is go down to the gym and spend time with Jordan, her trainer. Exactly, Reba agreed, nodding thoughtfully. Frankly, I like the new but the new attitude not so much, Brock muttered, crossing his arms. Oh, that's really funny coming from the old but, Reba shot back, unable to resist the dig. Jordan's so great, Brock mimicked Barbara Jean's enthusiastic tone, his voice dripping with sarcasm. Jordan's so toned and funny. Well, I got news for you. Nobody's toned and funny. Rob, you're overreacting, Reba reasoned, though she couldn't deny finding the situation a bit peculiar herself. Oh, really? Brock challenged, leaning forward. Yeah, I think she might be having an affair with this guy. Barbara Jean with her trainer? Reba scoffed, shaking her head. I mean, sure, he's probably a better man than you are. Better looking and younger. She trailed off, realizing she wasn't exactly helping his anxiety. But, Brock prompted, waiting for the reassurance. That's it, Reba finished with a shrug. Reba, I need you to help me out, Brock pleaded, his voice tinged with panic. I want you to go down to the gym and see if there's anything going on. You know, spy on him for me. No way, Reba flatly refused, shaking her head vigorously. You know, Barbara Jean may have a long list of faults. And I have that list if you need a copy, Brock added eagerly. But she is nothing if not faithful, Reba stated with conviction. Yeah, right? Brock scoffed, clearly unconvinced. Up until now. But now that she's thin and hot, she has all kinds of options. Look, Brock, if it's worrying you that much, be honest with her. Reba advised, her tone softening slightly. Tell her how you feel. Tell her that you just need a hug every now and then. Oh, now, there's a great idea, Brock replied, his voice heavy with sarcasm. See? Why, since my competition is a macho, muscular dude, I should go the other way and appear all weak and whiny. Your solutions are ridiculous, Reba. Brock threw his hands up in frustration. Makes me to spy on those. Stupid. Hard to believe they're supposed to be good for you. Just then, an elderly neighbor, Mrs. Higgins, briskly walked past the window, her arms pumping energetically. Hey, Mrs. H. You off for your power walk? Reba called out through the open window, a genuine smile replacing her exasperation. She turned back to Brock. Man, I love old people. Power walking, moving along, swinging their arms, like there's a big sale for false teeth. No, I'm not going for my power walk, Mrs. Higgins yelled back cheerfully, before disappearing from view. This whole physical thing is getting everybody acting wacko. Reba sighed, leaning against the counter. What do you mean? Van asked, re-entering the kitchen, having seemingly resolved his phone calls. Well, your dad thinks that the guy who gave Barbara Jean her new body is wanting to take a forespin. Reba explained, watching Van's reaction carefully. He probably does. Van nodded sagely, as if stating an undeniable universal truth. What are you talking about? Reba asked, taken aback by his certainty. Guys are pigs, Van declared, his tone solemn. They're dogs. They're all animals. They just care about hot women. They're hot dogs. He paused, apparently pleased with his own analogy. My point is that when you got a hot lady, you got to keep your guard up at all times. I used to, Brock muttered, staring gloomily at his coffee cup. You used to? Van asked, confused. No, baby. Don't take it like that. Brock quickly backpedaled, realizing his misstep. It's just that I've grown into a mature, stable individual. That's all. Well, I don't like it, Cheyenne announced, marching back into the kitchen, her arms crossed defensively. Where have you been? Van asked, looking relieved to see her. I went to get something to eat, Cheyenne replied shortly, still glaring at him. So, Ben, you think that Brock might be right about this trainer? Reba turned to the youngest member of the household, hoping for a more sensible perspective. Sure, this guy could be hot for Barbara Jean, Ben reasoned thoughtfully. But since Barbara Jean isn't looking to play, there's no problem, and it's obvious Barbara Jean isn't looking. Why is this obvious? Brock asked, leaning forward, eager for any shred of reassurance. 2 reasons, Ben stated confidently, holding up 2 fingers. Barbara Jean isn't good at keeping secrets, and she thinks of you as her best friend. He pointed at Reba. If she were fooling around with this guy, she'd be constantly talking about him to you. Heck, she'd probably even want you to meet him. Reba's eyes widened in sudden realization. The memory of Barbara Jean's eager invitation earlier played back in her mind. Meet him? Oh. Where are you going? Brock asked, startled as Reba suddenly grabbed her purse and headed for the door. Go down to the gym with the rest of the wackos, Reba called over her shoulder, her determination renewed. All right, well, keep those arms a-swinging, Mrs. Higgins yelled cheerfully as Reba rushed past her down the street. The gym was a chaotic symphony of clanking weights, thumping music, and heavy breathing. Reba felt immediately out of place in her jeans and sensible shoes amidst the sea of neon spandex and sculpted bodies. Oh hey Reba, you came. Barbara Jean's cheerful voice cut through the noise. She was clad in a matching, brightly colored workout set that highlighted her new physique perfectly. Yeah, Reba said, trying not to stare too obviously at the incredibly fit people surrounding them. Man, there's a lot of beautiful people around here. You should see them naked in the shower. A tall, incredibly muscular man with a brilliant smile jogged over to them. "Hey, Jordan." "Hey." Barbara Jean beamed, introducing them. "Ready to start, Barbara Jean?" Jordan asked, his voice smooth